live in Champaign County in a small farming community. We've got great soil, great agriculture, in the shadow of a good state university, just like here in McDonough County. I actually grew up, between my parents and my older brother's house is State Route 136. So it's an easy shot, easy drive east of here. And in hearing some of your stories, I feel like we have some similar neighbors as well. So my parents go to a church. They've had people in our church come up to them and say, "We're praying for your son." Well, that's nice. Why are you praying? We hope he will see the light and become a Republican. Good Christians, right? I run into people in my hometown, or when I travel around downstate Illinois, who come up to me and say, "I'm a Democrat too." They really contain themselves. I said, "Why are you whispering? You should be proud of that. You should shout that you're a Democrat." Because we as Democrats stand for good values, good American values. You know, I've talked an awful lot the last few years about stories we have to share. Stories about who we are, what we stand for, and how we seek to help our neighbors and our communities. I tell personal stories about my grandfather. You know, he grew up in a Republican area, but he grew up in an era of FDR. He grew up on a dairy farm before they had electricity. And it was FDR and Democrats who brought rural electrification because they felt that all Americans should have access to this new technology. That's why my grandfather was proud to tell people he was a Democrat. I grew up on that farm. They didn't make a lot of money. They worked hard. Matter of fact, the farm wasn't large enough to support him as he got older, and my father told him, "You've got to go out and find a job yourself, Jim." He ended up working in a grain elevator, ended up driving a truck, and joined the Teamsters Union. And it was not Republicans who fought for their ability to organize. It was not Republicans that fought for good wages and things like a 40-hour work week. It was Democrats, and that's why my father's a Democrat, and why he's proud to say that. I grew up with good union wages. See, my parents didn't go to college. None of my grandparents graduated, none of my grandparents attended high school. Dropped out in 6th, 7th, or 8th grade. They hadn't pushed education on me, but I had public school teachers who supported me, recognized talent, encouraged me. And when I got into college, I remember that day that I went home and I told my mom and dad, I said, "Mom, Dad, I got into Yale." My dad said, "Good for you, but you ain't going." I said, "What do you mean I'm not going?" He said, "We can't afford it." So if he looked at how much it costs, he said, "I don't have to look, I know we can't afford it." But I'll tell you, I was able to graduate in 4 years because I qualified for things like Pell Grants and federally guaranteed student loans. And I'll guarantee you, most Republicans who fought for those things, it was Democrats. So I have personal stories to share. Everyone in here has a personal story to share with your friends and neighbors about things that Democrats did to make your life better. And we shouldn't have to whisper in corners. We should shout it from Main Street. I want to talk about some other stories we have to tell. We don't all have to tell stories from the past. We don't have to go back to FDR. We don't have to go back to Harry Truman. We sure don't have to go all the way back to Thomas Jefferson. Democrats today are doing things to make people's lives better. We should tell those stories. Now, like a lot of Democratic speakers, I can run through our successes in education, with the environment, with health care. But we all know it's civil rights. We all know Democrats are better on those issues, don't we? Yeah. We're afraid to share them. We also shouldn't be afraid to push back when Republicans tell lies. You know, I was talking to a Democrat earlier this spring who said to me, "You know, we're fiscally responsible too." Two, who's the other party that's fiscally responsible? I don't know about you, but did you watch the backlog of bills that grew under Governor Rauner? $15 billion of backlog of bills. Have you seen in the supposedly wonderful economy, the wonderful, most wonderful, the best economy you ever seen? We're racking up trillions of dollars in debt. They like to complain about tax and spend Democrats. Why don't you tell them they are borrow and spend Republicans? There's nothing fiscally responsible about saddling our children and our grandchildren with more debt. We shouldn't be afraid to say it. And remind them, the last time we had surpluses, President Clinton was a Democrat. You don't have to look in the back. You don't look too far in the past. Right here in Illinois, after 4 years of Governor Rauner's failed leadership, we have a governor now, a Democrat, who passed a balanced budget and did it by putting together bipartisan majorities to pass that. I can tell you more personal stories. I came into my office. The year I came into office, the Treasurer's Office generated $49 million in interest for the state of Illinois. This last fiscal year, under a Democrat's leadership, we brought $310 million in because Democrats recognize a good investment. My Republican predecessor, our 2 college savings plans were rated bronze. You know those Olympic medals? They're bronze, silver, and gold. Now we have one of the highest rated programs in the country, according to Morningstar, gold rating. Because Democrats actually get those ratings going in the right direction. And they're the party that says they like to give money back to you. I'm in charge of a program. It's called Unclaimed Property, or ICASH. Before I came in, my predecessor returned almost $150 million. This last year, we returned nearly $250 million to people in the state. Because we actually believe in government, we made sure it runs right. So when they try and tell you there's a fiscally conservative party, they're fiscally responsible, I hope you now have some stories you can push back on that. And I'll also tell you, well, they're the patriotic party. That they believe in the Constitution. I don't have to tell you these stories. You have to watch the news to realize the head of their party doesn't care much for the Constitution. See, the Constitution believes in checks and balances. Bill Clinton and President Obama, I'm sure they did not appreciate all the congressional oversight that was heaped upon them. But they complied with it. Because they believed in checks and balances. They believe in our system of government. Our president right now ignores other branches of government. And I guess that's easy when you think you are the chosen one. But true Americans, this country was founded against a monarchy. We believed in power of the people. And we now have someone who is talking about flouting our laws, breaking our traditions. There is nothing constitutional, there's nothing patriotic about that. They want to talk about how much they appreciate the Bill of Rights. What about that? Let's start with that First Amendment. Freedom of speech. We have a president now who is actively undermining the press. He likes to refer to our media as the enemy of the people. Now, is this a phrase from America or from Joseph Stalin's Soviet Union? I guess we shouldn't be too surprised when our president would rather pal around with dictators like Vladimir Putin, like Kim Jong-un, other dictators out there that denigrate our longtime allies. No, if any Republican out there tells you they support the Republican Party because they're true patriots, if they tell you it's because they support our Constitution, hopefully you now have some stories to push back on that. Because Democrats here have helped to build a middle class here. They've helped to protect our country and our standing around the world. Democrats have fought to protect our values in countries around the world because Democrats stand for something more than how much money you can make for yourself. That's what we have here, and that's what's at stake. That's why it's so important that you come out here tonight. I'm so excited to see a room full of McDonough County Democrats, also some Mason County Democrats, and some from other counties as well. Because we know that our party is more about me and the deals I create and how great I am. We stand together. And if we continue to stand together, if we continue to share our stories, not just in dark corners of rooms, but out on Main Street, in our churches, on everywhere you go, in 2020 we will make a change. In 2020 we will really make America truly great like it has been in the past. Thank you for being part of that. Thank you for coming back here.